How's it going, everyone? It's GadgetsBoy. Welcome to another video. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at the Huawei MateStation X. Now, this is an all-in-one PC that's built for those that need space on their desk, but don't want the CPU, they don't want all that jazz all around it. They just want a monitor with a PC built in, a keyboard and a mouse, and they're good to go to get the work done. But is it powerful enough to run your day-to-day task? Well, let's find out. First thing first, you get everything you need to get started in a box. So you do get your warranty card information and quick start guide. So do give that a read and keep it safe as well. You get your power cable to power it on. Obviously, I get the 3-pin plug here in the UK, but some parts of the world, you might get a different plug. I should hope so. And then you get your keyboard, which looks very much like that's from Apple. It's very similar in the setup. It's got the number keys and it's even got a fingerprint sensor on the side as well, so you can quickly log into your PC without having to type in your password. You can just tap it and you're good to go. The keyboard is battery powered, so you won't be able to charge this like your Mac keyboard, Magic keyboards. So once the battery runs out, you just have to replace it again. But the battery should last you for a pretty long time. So that's not something to worry about. It runs on AAA batteries, so that's something you might want to keep in the cupboard somewhere if you need to replace it. You also get your mouse as well. The mouse is the silver one. The old system comes in 2 different colors, so you can get the silver one that we've got here or black one, I believe. But depending on which one you get a matching color of mouse and keyboard with it as well. Maybe the mouse, but I'm not sure about the keyboard. The mouse, you get the metal scroll wheel, which is nice and tactile. Underneath it, you get your optical sensor and a switch to power it on, and also put the Bluetooth on and put into pairing mode. The cover can be easily removed. It's held on by a magnet, which is, the whole thing is plasticky, just plastic finishing. There's nothing to it, and it's not that heavy at all. It's very light, very comfortable in hand, and it's powered on by a AA battery. So again, keep that spare in the cupboard somewhere, so if you need to replace it, you can easily do so. But it should last you for a very long period of time. But as you can see there, it's just easy to just place back on there like so, and it's just there, it just stays on. But if this do drop off the table though, I reckon that would just pop open and your battery might go flying out. But I digress. Let's get back into it. Next up, we get the MateStation X itself, and it's very snazzy. I think it's neatly designed, it's neatly packaged, and the base and everything just feels nice and solid on the desk. The monitor itself can tilt, I think, about 20 degrees, and you can't height adjust this. So you'd have to either place it on top of a surface, or I think it's kind of high enough anyway for just, you know, looking at it without breaking your neck or hurting your sitting position or your posture. And if you look around, it's got nice slim bezel up top. There's a 720p camera, which should be okay for your Zoom calls and all that stuff, but not the best for creating content if that's what you're thinking of doing with it. Although this is probably not designed to be a content creator machine, it's more for the workforce out there that wants something that won't stutter when they've got multiple applications running side by side or multiple windows open and they want to power it on quickly and all that stuff. If we look on the side, we have 2 USB 3.2 Gen 1 ports, and on the other side we have 2 USB-C ports and your headphone microphone jack, all squashed into that stand that you can see there. That stem there, or the stand, or whatever you want to call it, it's also where all the PC material, all the PC equipment, that's where it all is. So if you look at it by the side, you can see the way it's all built in and just set up and neatly packaged in that slim stem that's there. It looks pretty snazzy. I like what they've done there. And we've got that Huawei logo on the back as well. One thing to also keep in mind is there's no VESA mount here. So if you're willing to mount it another way, you're not going to get that with this. But that's understandable considering this is all-in-one and is meant to be on your desk. More specifications for you. This is 28 inches and it's 4K plus. So you're looking at 3840 by 2560. And it will give you 164 ppi with up to 550 nits of peak brightness. You're looking at 100% sRGB and up to 98% DCI-P3 color gamuts. That depends on your calibration. So if you calibrate it, you get the max. And this is only 60 Hertz in terms of refresh rate. But that's okay because this is not specifically or particularly a gaming machine. This is more for the workforce, as I stated at the start. The camera itself can't be blocked. There's no privacy filter on there or anything like that. So the full 720p camera is always there. You just have to trust that it's not being used when it's not being used. There's no buttons around here to change settings or anything like that. The only button available there is the power button. But if you wish to do anything else, you can always go into the screen and change settings by going to your settings or use the keyboard to adjust things like brightness and volume. The whole thing in general in terms of the design is just solidly built. It's got some chamfered edges on the base. It's got nice aluminium build as well, so aluminium alloy build. You got that 92% screen to body ratio, which looks fantastic. I think all in all, as a design, I really like this. More on the specs, this particular version has 16 gigabytes of RAM, 1 TB of storage, is running on Ryzen 7 5800H. You got 8 cores and 16 threads with that, and it's got that Radeon graphics. And there's also a smaller version which has 8 GB of RAM, 512 GB of storage, and Ryzen 5, so 5600H, and it's also running Radeon graphics. That's cheaper at around £1,500, and the top end, the version here, you're looking at around £1,800. So this is not cheap at all. So if you're trying to buy something like this, there might be alternatives out there, but if you've completely sold on something that's all in one, then you're looking at £1,800 to go top spec like this one. So a lot of great specs there and a lot of things to talk about in terms of design and stuff. And I think Huawei have done a great job here in terms of the design and the looks and what it can actually do in terms of specs. But in the real world, what does that translate to? First thing first, in terms of display, I love that this is also touchscreen. So if you're just feeling lazy, you don't want to, move things around with your mouse and keyboard, you can easily just tap things on the screen and move the screen around. You can run multiple applications at the same time. It works seamlessly. There's no problem there at all. I run this under some benchmarking tools like your Crystal Disk for read and write speeds. They look very good in terms of the result that I got. And again, if we go over to PC Mark X, you can see that all the important stuff like productivity, digital content creation, photo editing scores, they're all quite high as well. They score really well, in fact, for what it is. And if we compare that online as well, we can see how that fares against other products on sale right now. So if we look at this, again, it scores above office laptops. In fact, it scores above gaming laptops here, as you can see, but below gaming PC. But like I said, this is not built to be in the same league as your gaming PC, your high-end gaming PCs. So this is great as it is for all the important work that you need to do. It will run that comfortably well with no problem at all. So there you have it for 3D score there and your PC Mark X score side by side. On 3D Mark is showing scores above office laptops in 2020 and it's below gaming laptops. So like I said, this is not a system that's built for gaming, but rather something that's built exactly for this purpose, which is to do your work on the go, do multitasking and, have other Huawei ecosystem products available to you to seamlessly just multitask comfortably. Where you notice some issues there and there in terms of graphics is if you try and run high-end games like Forza Horizon, it won't even load on this. That's how much this is underpowered when it comes to gaming. But like I said, this is not built for gaming in my opinion. You wouldn't get something like this to do that level of gaming, although you can still run some games on here, but just not the high-level games that requires a lot more power. One thing I'm quite impressed with this, you can run Adobe Premiere on it and edit 4K videos comfortably. When I tried it and I edited my 4K video, there was no issues at all in terms of scrolling through the files, scrolling through the audio tracks and video tracks, dragging files on there, and even exporting them didn't take me that long at all. And when it comes to that display quality as well, it's lacking in some area, although this is nice and bright and vibrant and you get really good colors. Where it's lacking is those deep blacks in there, so HDR content. So when I'm watching some YouTube videos, you can see some ghosting, you can see areas where it could do with some improvement in terms of the blacks in the quality of the video that I'm watching. And if you look at the stats for nerds, you can see that there's barely any frames dropped here at all. There's one dropped out of 2,000 plus frames that's running on this right now. Providing you've got a really good internet connection, you won't have any problems in terms of frame dropping here at all. But really good internet speed that I've got in the studio, we'll just get one that's dropped here. And it changes all the time. Last time I was running this, there's 0 dropped out of the whole multiple frames that was running. So do with that information what you will. But generally, I think the colors looks really nice. Graphics looks really nice as well. 60 hertz, so you can still see some, movement there, juddering there. But 60 hertz for general work, everyday task, you won't have any problems there at all. One thing that's also missing on here is the fact that we don't get any SD card reader or anything like that on here, which is a shame. It would be nice to have some sort of SD card reader in there to be able to quickly insert your file to modify and edit or do whatever you want to do. But yeah, again, you can only tilt it. There's no opportunity to raise it higher or lower or anything like that for that matter. Sound system as well sounds decent. I think the speaker sounds okay. I've no issues there at all when it comes to the speaker system here. So we just wait for this video to go past ads, skip ads, and you can also hear the sound here. So I'm just gonna So you can hear it there, like nice bassy sound there as well, in case you can hear it. Hopefully you can hear it through the microphone, but you do get that bassy sound. The speaker's located just right there below you, facing you, so you won't have any problems listening and hearing other things. But graphics quality in front of us here, as you can see, this is running on a 4K. We just make that bigger, and you can see that what you've got there, it looks amazing. I think color looks great. There's no problems there at all. But the blacks, the darker area, the blacks there in the shadows, that could have done with a bit more darker to be a lot blacker than it is. But you do get that letterboxing effect on it because this is a 3:2 aspect ratio. But for those that are going to be using this, you won't have any problems in terms of that at all, I don't think. One more thing that's also cool is this is meant to be a device that allows you to bring all your Huawei ecosystem devices together. So for example, if you have a Huawei smartphone like I've got here, so I've got the P50 Pro here, you'll be able to connect it seamlessly to your MateStation X and have your phone just running side by side. So you can do things like drag files over, you can back up your phone, you can use it as a hotspot, for example, if you really need to do so. So with Huawei Share, you'll be able to share those things together, and you can see how it just seamlessly work. With the phone there on the right side, it's just so smooth. So for example, if you wanted to get the files over from my phone to the computer here, I can simply select a photo that I want to send, tap it on an area on the keyboard, for example, like so, and it just comes onto my computer. So on the MateStation X here, and I'll have that photo there for me to manipulate, edit it, whatever I want to do with it, I can do so. Over to you though, what do you think? Would you get one of these? What do you think about the graphics quality? You can't even upgrade this either, so whichever one you get, they're not upgradable. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. And that's it for the Huawei MateStation X. As always, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll leave all relevant links in the description area, including where you can buy this if you're interested, so do check it out. In the meantime, if this is your first time around here, please do subscribe, smash the bell notification so you get notified every time there's a new video up on the channel like this one, and make sure you share it. It always helps me out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.